Hello viewer, I trust you are well. Welcome to our fourth episode, and today we are discussing stress. What is stress? Stress is your body's way of responding to any kind of a demand or threat. When you sense danger, whether real or perceived, the body's defenses kick into high gear into a rapid automatic process known as the fight or flight reaction or the stress response. This is the body's way of protecting you. When working properly, it helps you stay focused, energetic and alert. However, beyond a certain point, stress stops being helpful and starts causing major damage to your health, relationships and your quality of life. If you frequently find yourself feeling frazzled and overwhelmed, it's time to protect yourself by recognizing the signs and symptoms of stress and taking steps to reduce its harmful effects. Your body's stress warning signs tell you that something isn't right. If you neglect the alerts sent out by your body, you could have a major malfunction. These warning signs include headaches, muscle tension, chest pains, rapid heartbeats, difficulty falling or staying asleep, fatigue, appetite changes, trouble concentrating, irritability, memory problems or forgetfulness, short temper, anxiety. These are just some of the ways that your body is telling you it needs maintenance and extra care. So, who is likely to be more affected by stress? Men and women share many of the same sources of stress, such as money matters, job security, health, and relationship issues. Perhaps a little more unique to women are the many roles they take on, like family obligations, caregiving for children or elderly parents, and work responsibilities as well as other roles. As demands increase to fulfill these roles, women can feel overwhelmed with time pressures and unmet obligations. While stress isn't easy to manage at any age, it can become more difficult to cope as you get older for a number of reasons. First, your body can't physically handle stress the way it did when you were younger. In addition, it might be more challenging to cope with stress mentally. Your stress may also be caused by different factors, which could be more complicated than the issues you faced in your younger years. Now, stress can have a significant impact on your physical, emotional, and mental well-being, which may ultimately affect your productivity. Signs that stress is negatively impacting your productivity include lack of energy, because following the initial burst of stress, it will rapidly drain your energy, which ultimately leaves you emotionally and physically drained, and this can further prevent you from doing your best, affecting your productivity. Lack of focus. Stress will take over your mind, making it extremely difficult to focus on the task at hand because you are more focused on what caused you stress. Constant worry. Stress has a way of taking up your time by making you continuously worry about something that may or may not happen. This is the time that is lost that could have been spent on more productive tasks. Reduced creativity. Being stressed causes your mind to wander, basically limits your ability to come up with new creative ideas. Negative effects on personality. For instance, you may snap at your colleagues or even your peers without realizing that you're doing it, and you may become angry and yell at others without knowing that you're doing it. Many jobs require teamwork in some form, so when you are snapping, moody or yelling at your colleagues or your teams, it affects your ability to be productive and also the productivity of your teams. A question that is frequently asked is if stress is linked to anxiety and panic attacks. Although stress and anxiety share many of the same emotional and physical symptoms, such as uneasiness, tension, headaches, high blood pressure, and loss of sleep, they have very different origins. Stress is a response to an external cause, whereas anxiety is a person's specific reaction to stress. Its origin is internal. Anxiety is typically characterized by a persistent feeling of dread in situations that are not actually threatening. Unlike stress, anxiety persists even after a concern has passed. Stress is a common trigger for anxiety, and a panic attack is a symptom of anxiety. A little stress every now and then is not something to be concerned about. Stress that is left unchecked or poorly managed is known to contribute to high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, and suicide, to name a few, and mental health problems such as depression, anxiety, and personality disorders. After you've figured out what your stresses are, you can adopt healthy lifestyle habits and strategies to manage the effects of stress. For example, using relaxation techniques such as breathing, meditation, and yoga, exercising regularly, eating a balanced diet, getting adequate sleep, and other healthy habits. Also, get a couple of journey processes done on yourselves time and again to clear whatever may be buried or hidden inside you or anything that is unexpressed. So how will the journey process help you to manage stress? Stress, defined as an emotional tension or a mental strain, is all too common of a feeling for many of us. Too much stress can produce both physical and emotional symptoms, as I mentioned earlier. These emotions do not necessarily come from traumatic or disastrous events in life. It can come innocently and unintentionally. For example, the everyday experiences that we encounter here in Kenya or globally: hijacking, car accidents, violence, break-ins, banks closing down, and even sudden loss of a loved one, etc. All these can give rise to negative emotions such as fear, stress, and anxiety, which get stored in our cells. Emotions are real energies in motion. In an ideal scenario, emotions naturally come and go. Yet, many of us have often unconsciously adopted to strategies that make us suppress or avoid our emotions, especially the bad emotions like stress. These stored emotions can often remain unnoticed for years before coming to the surface. We build emotional walls around us to keep our feelings at bay, thus creating more tension, criticism, or stress, and compromising our ability to feel the real joy of life. Our emotions, our thoughts, and our words influence our bodies and affect our cells, our DNA, and ultimately our health. And yet, unfortunately, through the course of life's pains and trials, our extraordinary potential gets covered over layer upon layer with unwanted stuff for years. The journey uncovers these layers and opens into the root cause of stress blockages and releases these raw emotions, whereby the blockage is clear and it feels like a lot of heaviness and inertia is lifted from your body, whereby the symptoms disappear and allowing the body to heal naturally. And with time, you will naturally be inviting more expansive emotions like joy, happiness, passion, love, and more to flow naturally and consistently through your life, completely and totally stress-free. Lastly, some helpful tips to help you keep stress at bay. Besides adopting a healthy lifestyle habit, including keeping a positive attitude, accepting that there are events that you cannot control, being more assertive of your feelings, opinions, or even beliefs instead of becoming angry, defensive, or passive. Learn to manage your time well, set limits appropriately, and learn to say no to requests that would create excessive stress in your life. Spend enough time with those you enjoy. Till our next episode, stay safe.